Alright, so we landed on the water, on the lake, just seeing how it's negotiating the waves. And there's not a lot of big waves today, but this gives us a really good idea of whether or not the drone's going to float, if it's going to be able to handle itself out of the lake. If it flips upside down, it'll still stay afloat. And for all the people that lose their drones going over the water, this is a fantastic way to go. Now, if you notice, the drone has shut itself off completely. Now, on the Mavic 2, I can land and keep the motors running. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to start the motors by just pulling these two knobs in on the controller towards me and into each other and get the motors going. And you'll see what that's like in a second. So now, the motors are actually started, and I have the ability to remote land and remote take off. And this is the Air 2 geared up with the wetsuit. If you're gonna play with the water, you sure better have the wetsuit because the battery can be compromised so quick. So I'm just gonna let it hang out for a while. Just watching it, how it's handled the waves. I'm gonna go ahead and record from this position. It's actually gonna look like the water is going over the camera, but it's not. So I'll keep an eye on it. And I think it's going to be able to handle about 3-foot swells. Land in a little choppier water. So this is going to be a lot of fun for the Air 2. Choppier here. Let's go ahead. Boat just came. Let's go ahead and land. And once again, we're on the water and we're just negotiating the waves. The props have completely shut off, which is the way it's going to work when you land. So if you were to remote land, you got to be ready to restart the engines for takeoff. This takes a lot of stress out of flying over the water. For me, I use it more for a testing area because there's different places where I cannot fly from because of magnetic interference. And when that happens, I sometimes cannot get my drone back. So having this to test my drone with is phenomenal. It also gives you a massive picture in the sky, a visual line of sight, which I'll show you in a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and start it up again. The motor's going. Let's get it up. And let's take it out. In case that bird has any problems with me, I'll do my crazy Ivan. Go vertical. And I'm working on 17 satellites. It's probably going to stay around there, 18 satellites. Takes a second to land, but it will land. Now it's just, motors will turn off in a second, and now it's just floating out of the water. But I'd always advise all the forum members to always have the motors going. I know you can conserve battery, and some people will be able to utilize that feature, but for the most part, you should have the motors going in case you see a huge wave coming or swell, that you're able to pop up immediately and get out of trouble.
All right, man, pop it up. Send it out there by that boat.
Where? I got a guy next to me who wants me to send it out towards that boat over there. All right, I'll do that for you. Let's send it out.
That's what I want to
You want to know they're catching fish, huh?